One thing potentiometers or pots could be used for is volume control. So if you turn up your radio in your car or your room or your Walkman, or y'all know what a Walkman is, your iPod, whatever, um, it's that is a potentiometer, more likely that's changing the voltage, uh, changing the voltage of the output signal, so it's making it louder or not louder. What other word I was looking for? All right, let's move on here. So this um, really horrible diagram, really horrible. All right, all right. Here's the diagram. I was going to use that one to try to show you more about schematics, but that was a horrible one. So this is the circuit we're going to hook up. One change I do want to make here. One change I'm making. Listen up, listen up, listen up. One change I am making. Pin 13, I won't plug it into pin 6. Pin 13, the wire going to the LED, I won't plug it into pin 6. Pin 13, yes, disconnect everything that you already have. If you have the LED hooked up, you can keep that hooked up. But hook pin 13, I want that instead of being in pin 13, I want it in pin number 6. Instead of pin 13, that wire going from the positive leg of the Arduino, I want it plugged into pin 6. Alright, I said that a whole bunch of times last time, but yet people still did it. Plug in the wire for the LED, should go into pin 6. Alright, because I'm going to change the code up a little bit. We're going to modify it. Raise your hands when you have it hooked up. You don't need to disconnect everything. Only thing I really need in there is the potentiometer and the LED. You can keep the LED hooked into, just make sure you plug it in pin 6. And somebody else brought up a good point. So that potentiometer has 3 pins on it. Those pins should go vertical. So one here, and one here. Those are the pins underneath the potentiometer. And I do want to make sure you plug this middle one here. That should be going to A0. I think technically you could plug it into any variable or any pin. I think the numbers would be slightly different. So the potentiometer is just the little square base or cube base with the little round thing on top with an arrow. It looks very similar to what's on the screen right now. Alright, y'all have to excuse me, I'll be right back while y'all look all that stuff up. Alright, I'm back. Let me know if you're having any issues or whatnot. Again, raise your hands when you think you have the circuit hooked up. Good job, Mr. Tyson. Oh, you did have it hooked up. What slots? You pick any slots that you want to hook it into, Gabe. The only condition is I want to make sure that this wire here that's going to A0 is plugged into the middle pin. is the button thingy supposed to have all four? Alright, it's not the button thingy. This is a potentiometer, so you should only have 3 prongs, Miss Celsi. And yes, all 3 prongs should go into the breadboard. Good technical name there, button thingy, like that. Alright, cool. Most of y'all have it done. Mr. Roseman, Mr. Gabe, how y'all coming? Hey, at the end of class, can you show us or me how to start a Christmas tree light? How to wire it? Try, but couldn't do it. Are you talking about like the actual lights on the Christmas tree, Mr. Murray? Or are you talking about like just setting up the LEDs on the thing? I'm slightly confused. Like an actual Christmas tree light, you need a special component to interact with the AC, the AC electricity. Where would I get one? I would have to look that up, Mr. Murray. I'm not quite sure. I have to make sure I tell you to get the right one. I used to know it off the top of my head, but I haven't done Windows for a while. It's a it's kind of like it's called a relay, but it's just not. It's not your stereotypical relay. It has different capacitors and all that other stuff to it. Um, Look, only thing you need to do is look up Control AC or Control Christmas lights with Arduino, and I think that should pop up something in Google. If not, look up Control AC power with DC with a DC Arduino. That should pop something up too. All right, most of y'all are telling me you got it all hooked up. Let's find out. This is our first code we are going to work with tonight. I am going to change this code up a whole lot. One thing to double check it, I didn't want y'all to type this out, is LED pin 13. Remember, I told you to plug in to pin 6. Plug in to pin 6. Not so you want it LED pin equals 13 to equal 6, not 13. Raise your hands when you have this code typed out. Now, as far as this code is concerned, I'm not using anything new. Haven't changed anything about this code. This is all stuff we've used before. If there's something in the code that you don't understand, please let me know. I'll explain it. But everything in here we have used before. You do not have to put the comments in there on this. I'd rather you put the comments in there, but for sake of time, keep the comments that you really need. Maybe like the analog read. And while you are doing that, Mr. Murray, I'll look up the thing. Now you're talking about actual Christmas tree lights, right, Murray, Mr. Murray? think that is it. Do you know how to solder, Mr. Murray? Do you know how to solder? Solder. That's not quite. That would work, but that's not what you're looking for. All right, again, raise your hands when you have that code hooked up. Good for you, Gabe. Um, Mr. Murray, I'm going to look this up later, dude. My head, really can't focus on it that much. I found a few things, but they would get you hurt if you did them, and I don't want to give you those. All right, go ahead and upload this code for those of you that have it typed out, and let me know exactly what it, or tell me the thing what it does. And I'm going to shoot. There you go, Mr. Wade. 128 gigabytes solid state hard drive. RPM. How much RAM? Eight gigabytes. 2 terabytes. I don't like you anymore, Gabe. Your computer sounds better than mine. Oh, I did not change something. I did follow my own directions. Yeah, raise your hands when you have this code typed out. So adjust the potentiometer, Mr. Elsie, and the light should change how fast it's blinking. Yep, exactly. So let's change this code up a little bit here. Let's see if y'all are still working, but that's fine. All right. So one thing I do want to do is I want to be able to see the actual values. So let's actually take a peek inside the actual Arduino by using our 96 begin here, 9600, right? We've used this before, serial dot begin. All right, I'm going to come down here to the last line, and I'm going to add, give myself some space, and I'm going to serial, if I can spell serial, serial dot print line. Something, sensor value. Sensor value. All right. Appreciate that, Mr. Game. So now to add this code, I can not only adjust the rate of how fast it's blinking, but you can see that the number on there is actually changing in the serial print. Now, because we are using analog read, right? We're using analog read. And the analog signal is anything between 0 to 5 volts, but it gives you a range of value between 0, 0 and 0 and 1023. All right, so raise your hands when you have all of this stuff here. The serial prints, your code's working, and your lights flashing on and off. So your hands are still up. Okay. So here's what I want y'all to try to do without me helping you. So you can serial print the line, and you see the numbers that is actually what sensor value is. Whatever sensor value is, you can see that number. What I want you to try to do on your own is I want you to try to take that value of sensor value. All right. Now instead of the light blinking, I want you to make the light turn on or off based upon the value of sensor value. So make sensor value. So this is hypothetically, if something is some way, then do this. Else, maybe you want something else to do. J-rig your code, do something, but I want you to make it so that the light turns on or off based upon the sensor value. This time around, I'm not going to try to help you. I want y'all to try to figure it out for yourselves here. I'm not doing it just because I'm sick. I actually do want y'all to try to figure out code without me giving you all the information. It's simple. It's only a few lines of code is all you need to do. The only thing you need to do is modify the code that you have. If you need help, I'll give you help, ask a question, but I won't give you the answer. I'll just speak in riddles. So the object right now is if you got your light blinking based upon the LED, is I want you to be able to, I want the light to turn either on or turn it off based upon what the sensor is reading, based upon the potentiometer. All right, so instead of blinking on and off, I want you to be able to turn it one way it turns off, one way it turns on. All right, so that is the objective. I want y'all to try to figure out that code on your own, and let me know how y'all coming. Let me know if you have questions. I'll try to guide you. I won't give you the answer. I don't even know what to say to that again. Oh, my throat. In case y'all can't tell, this class will not run over tonight, by the way. Come 11 o'clock, I'm going to go to my bed and die. Oh, it's your fault, Gabe. You gave me the Ebola. Alright. Put your hands up when you think you got it. I'm going to give you, it's 10:28 right now. I'm going to get a 10:35 to try to figure it out by yourself. What does the analog read mean? The analog read is just reading that value. So you actually leave that alone, Tyson. So that's actually reading the value of A0. 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 1 second. A0. Okay. A0. Does that sound better? Okay, I think I sound better. Alright, so it's just reading the value of A0. Alright. So Mr. Murray doesn't even know where to start. Perfect, Mr. Wade. Awesome. Oh, it does slightly differently, but that works too. Alright, so all right. So let's walk through this. Let's think about this one way here. Some of y'all are having issues here. So what I say? I say I want the LED to turn on or off based upon what the potentiometer is reading, right? So what I say? Actually, I gave you the hint in the problem statement. If the potentiometer is leading one way, if the potentiometer is going one way, turn on. If it's going the other way, shut off. Or if it's facing the other way, shut off. Yeah, you will be adding new lines of code. No. You can add lines of code. That's the whole point of this, is to add lines of code. You can do that, Gabe. So there's different ways of doing it. You can use any resource at your disposal too. The reason I say that, because there's no way to know if I know, or I have no way of knowing if you're not using Google or not, unless I hack Miss Chelsea's computer, and that would just be wrong. I mean, how you doing, Mr. Dennis? Tyson, how you doing, sir? You don't know? That works, Gabe, if you still have the button hooked up, though. Is your button still hooked up into your circuit? Well, then don't use that. You're in the ballpark, Mr. Gabe. You are in the ballpark. All right, 2 more minutes. I'm only seeing 2 hands up. Let me give you 1 more minute, and then I'll show you. All right, so a few y'all. All right, so most of you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you now. Um, so probably most of you have already foobarred your code. So here, I'm gonna give you a fresh, clean slate. There you go. There's the code we're gonna start from. Just copy and paste that, and we'll be good to go. All right. Put your hands up. If you have your code working, you don't have to worry about this. But raise your hands when you have the code copy and pasted. So I want everybody to be on the same page here. So let me know when you get that code copy and pasted. And then I'll walk you through how to modify it. Again, raise your hands when you have your code copy and pasted. And then I'll walk you through how to modify it. There we go. All right. All right. So there's multiple different ways of doing this. Remember, like I've always said, that even coding, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do the exact same thing. All right. So one thing I'm going to do is, what did I say? It's like I want the light to turn on and off based upon what the sensor is reading. Right. So here, come up here, I'm going to call this int threshold. All right. So I'm going to create a threshold value. And just because I have 561 up here on my serial monitor, that's the number I'm going to use. All right, I just picked that number arbitrarily. There's no significance to it whatsoever. All right, so this is the first thing. So what else did I say? I said I want the light to be able to turn on and turn off based upon what the sensor is reading. Right, so I already have the turn on command here, and I also already have the turn off command as well. No, I don't need quotations here. Um, so I'm just going to use what I already have. I already have the turn on, and I already have the turn off. Now, I didn't say anything about the delay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to delete the other delay. Right? So, so I'm setting up a conditional statement. If the potentiometer is one way, do this. If it's not that way, do the other thing, right? So if here, now I just have to set I have to set um, the condition for the if statement to be executed, to be executed. All right, so I want sensor value. I know sensor value is going to be a part of it, and then I know threshold is also going to be a part of it. All right, so if sensor value is less than threshold, right, less than threshold here. So now only thing I gotta do is make sure I put my brackets in the right location. So only thing I left I have to do is make sure I just put my brackets in the right location. Now I gotta add one more word here. So if the sensor value is less than threshold, do this, right? So I'll turn it on. If it's not, so I had to put in else, right? If it's not in this category, create the conditional statement. Else do this. All right, then clean up my code a little bit. Else do that. Now if I upload it, hopefully it'll work. All right, looks like I got it working. Let's see. Yep. So you were, like I said, Mr. Wade, you were pretty close. So what did I do? I created this value. Now, what Mr. Wade did, instead of putting threshold here, he just put in the number. So this would be the same thing. All right, that is the same thing as me saying threshold. But both of them are exactly the same thing. What are you saying wow about, Mr. Murray? Oh, I sound like a robot. Thanks, Mr. Murray. That makes me feel good. So you know what I put 561 right here is the same thing. Oh, the what was I going to say? The reason I did it like this, putting this number up here. All right, is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Mr. Murray is telling me I'm sounding really bad on y'all's end. Gabe saying I sound fine. Give me some more. Well, it sounds like I sound like O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Okay, everybody's saying I'm sounding pretty good. All right. Mr. Josh, looks like you didn't put either int in front of the threshold here. You didn't do this part up here. Try that first, Josh. Raise your hands if your code is working. Let's back up here a little bit. Okay. Mr. Josh, send me your code. No, you know what I mean. Yep. So your main problem that I see right now, Josh. I think this is Josh. Let me see. Oh wait, I didn't get it. Hang on. There we go. You spelled threshold wrong here, which is fine, but you have to keep spelling it wrong. So you need to get rid of this H here. Uh, Here you use parentheses instead of brackets. These are not parentheses, these are brackets. Like that. There's actually a code of it. There. Where's Josh? Okay, cool. Now go ahead and test something. Yes, yes, Mr. Murray. I'm sorry. All right. All right, cool. All right, does everybody have this working, this little simple if statement? Kind of. Why kind of, Dennis? What's going on, man? And Mr. Wade for your, or not Wade, Gabe, only thing you had to do is switch the sign to do it, to get it to do what you wanted it to do. Where's Dennis? What's up, Dennis? What's happening with yours, man?
Alright, so when I turn the potentiometer, it turns on and off normally, but if I keep it off for too long, it'll turn itself back on.
Turn itself back off or on?
Back on.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. And it seems like instead of just staying on, it's flickering.
Alright, try to like just push that pot further into your breadboard.
Alright, no, it's still doing it. It's still flickering and turns back on when I try to turn it off.
That I 1 second, Mr. Dennis. I see your comment, Mr. Roseman. Um, that wire that's going into A0, are you sure it's plugged into the middle part of the potentiometer? The middle
Yes.
pin?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What I want you to try to do is I just want you to take your pot and all your wires and try to shift them over, like 3 or 4 spots. All right, try that because I'm thinking you have something going on with your breadboard. All right, Mr. Roseman, do you have a mic? I can't remember. Nope, you don't have a mic. Good point, Mr. Wade brought that up. You might have extra delays. There should be no delays in there. All right, Mr. Roseman, um, was your LED coming on earlier? No. Okay, so that means your circuit wasn't right. Make sure you're plugged into pin 6 here. Well, I mean, keep it either way. Just as long as your code matches the pins. That's the main point. So the code I sent you was the code I just sent out was mapped to pin 6, right? So this wire should be plugged in down here. Is that What did you realize, Gabe? It works. So the LED turns on and off now. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, I need the ground. Oh yeah, that's one other thing too, y'all. Um, Remember when I told you don't plug this power in unless I tell you? I was looking further ahead. Let's just go ahead and every day before every circuit, I'm going to assume that these two are hooked up. Now, also the power and the ground should both be hooked up. Let's see. Gabe realized today we take all this technology for granted and break it just for fun. Don't even understand the stuff it takes. It takes to get a lot of work to make. Yep. All right. So we got that done. That's pretty much it, y'all. I'm gonna do something I've never done before. I'm gonna have to end class early. Cause yeah, some things I have feeling my body's about to not work right. I'm really sorry. I don't like ending class early, but tonight I am going to do that. So is there any final questions for me? What's up, Gabe? Yes, I do want some chicken noodle soup, actually, with Tabasco sauce. Yeah, Texas Pete is for wimps. Can we put stickers on our Arduinos? On the back side, yes. What is IKR? Is that a hot sauce I don't know about? Oh, I know, right? Can you let your dog eat your Arduino? You can, just make sure it's powered first and all your outputs are set, so he'll get a nice little shock when he bites into it. I'm sick, I'm not dead. Nice try, though. I'm getting Alright, y'all have a good night. I'll take care of y'all. Or, I mean, y'all take care. You know what the hell I meant. Y'all have a good night.